Lorelai brought it up a couple of times and then dropped it. But it's like she didn't give Rory the grace of like, hey, you're a kid and I got to manage your emotions. And I can't get angry with you for bringing something up that's very, very much affecting your present, not even just your future, your
Right.
right now.
Right.
So the only thing is, they went to sleep at 8 o'clock and Lorelai, I feel like she finally relented and said, I'm sure I wish I did love him. You have no idea how much. And
I
then
wrote that
Rory
down. I wish I
kisses
did love.
her.
And I think it's because the lights are out and
Mm,
like now it's dark and she
mm,
can like clear her head. You know how like you talk better like somehow in the dark when you're both like facing the same direction?
yeah, that's a
Um
good one.
so then she finally says, I wish I did love him, which
I
is,
didn't think of that. It's a lot less vulnerable, isn't it, in the
yeah,
dark?
nobody
Yeah.
can see your face and like you don't have to, I don't know, you don't have to be on as much in the dark. So
Hmm.
I think like that finally let her say like, I wish I loved him. But like, I
Yeah.
wish she'd thought of this before making a cake and before he was selling his place to move in,
Oh my God, that's right. He's selling his place.
or
He's
at least
repainting
painting
it.
it. He didn't actually say he was selling it, but he's painting it. So we assumed he was selling it. But like, your decisions are affecting so many more lives.
But it's not, even if he's not selling it, he had to have put it on the market because their wedding was this weekend.
Right. Right. Or he has
So,
renters moving in. It's bad. I mean, it's
yeah.
really bad. And like in a way that Rory and Dean breaking up is not that bad.
Right.
It doesn't ripple out to affect, half a dozen lives.
Here's the thing is respect for canceling it anyway
Yes,
because it's
canceling a wedding is the hardest thing you can do, but it does beat the alternative, which is being in a marriage you don't want to be in.
and
So,
let the ripple effects happen. Let people
mhm.
be disappointed. Let the cake be given to other people. Like they have to get over it. I like crazy respect for people who actually do indeed after the deposits are in, you actually cancel your wedding. It is much better and much more respectful than the alternative, unfortunately. And yeah, sure, I wish I thought of it before. I wish I made that decision before. I wish, you can go through all of that,
Mhm.
but you can do that for the rest of your life and then get
Yeah.
divorced, which is a lot harder.
Yes.
So,
It is true. It's
yeah.
easier. It is harder but easier
Yeah.
to do, to walk away before. But a lot of
Yeah.
times that happens because the marriage doesn't feel real until you start planning the wedding and your entire lives together. And that's when it
Mm,
hits you that this is the wrong person. So like I'm not surprised it happens like that for a lot of people, is like after the
that's true.
engagement and you get after the thrill of being engaged wears off and then the reality of like being with a single person for the rest of your life sets in.
You're right. When
I
the
could
when the planning starts, you're actually not just planning a wedding, but you're planning how to live together. You're planning how many kids you might have. You finally start, and I think talk about this before, but who am I? But you're finally talking about what the future is going to look like. And yeah, that might not be fitting anymore. And a lot of people get mad at each other with the wedding plans. Like, oh, I didn't know flowers were worth 15,000 to you.
right,
This is
right,
how you're going to spend my money for the rest of your life.
right, right. Or I didn't know that you gave a crap about your great aunt's cousin,
Right.
and you're
Right.
like, no,
Yeah, I can't believe you're inviting that person when you know like they flirt with you every time, like why are they invited to like
um
things like that.
definitely invite people who flirt with you to your wedding.
You got to feel
I think
pretty.
I mean, you're going to be looking your best. So like you want I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But yeah, that's why wedding planning is, but also a lot of people get stumped where they plan the wedding and not the marriage. This is what
Right.
I've heard. And like I've never been married, but this is what I've seen, is that people were like, I got so caught up planning the wedding that I was not planning the marriage, which is
Mhm,
like
mhm.
boring. Like a good marriage can be kind of boring because it is just spending the rest of your life with someone.
Right,
So
it's
like,
making your everyday boring decisions now
right,
with compromise.
right.
Now with, like,
And
someone
like
else's opinion that's very important.
right. And it's not as fun as picking flower colors.
Right, right, and
So,
overspending
and
and
overspending and hanging
and
out with
tasting
like
cakes.
your great aunt or whatever.